What is family constellations? Family what? Family constellations. And why is that relevant, important for you to know about as a leader? How can it help you solve your business problems? If you're curious, stay with me. This video is going to be really worthwhile to watch. I am NOOMI from NOOMINATAN.com, and I'm an executive coach specializing in family and organizational constellations. Now, I've been doing this work with leaders in more than 15 countries for the last more than 8 years. And what I found was I was very privileged to be part of beautiful, huge training, leadership development programs. I've coached hundreds and hundreds of people. I stopped counting a while ago. And very often I got to change people's lives, which is great, right? Except I got frustrated because we often didn't seem to change the actual undercurrent, the actual culture, the actual organization. The people that got the most out of those change programs very often left. They left the organization because they no longer fitted in anymore. And that made me frustrated because I believe that if we're going to make the world better, we don't just change individuals, we've also got to look at the context they fit into. So why am I excited about family constellations? It was pioneered by a phenomenal guy called Bert Hellinger. And what he did was he, in many ways, went back to how human beings are wired. When I talk about constellations, family constellations, for me, it's a way of bringing back knowledge that human beings have known for millions of years. We've just forgotten it in our busy, industrialized, and individually focused world. So, what's the most important thing for a human being? To survive? No, actually not. The most important thing for an individual is that their group, their tribe survives. That's been guaranteeing the survival of human beings for millions of years. It was the tribe. And so, as an individual, we're wired to want to belong. We're wired to try and protect the system, to make sure that that tribe, that system, that family, and it works with organizations too, that entity is going to survive. That means we do all kinds of wonderful and sometimes seemingly weird things in the name of belonging, in the name of surviving, keeping our organization, our system, our tribe, our family intact. Now, mostly this happens completely unconsciously because most of us fight really hard to feel like we make independent choices. The truth is, though, and you know this, right? You go into a room and the first thing you think about, even though you might judge yourself for being superficial, you think, how do I measure up against these people? Am I more senior than them? Am I more experienced? You might even hear the voice, am I better than them? Am I older? Am I younger? Am I richer? Am I poorer? Are these my kind of people? Do I fit in? How do I fit in this context? Are these loud, annoying people? Are these fun people? We do that all the time because that is how we figure out if we belong. So when I do coaching, when I do consulting with individuals and with organizations, I look at how do they fit into their context. It makes absolutely no sense to just try and help one individual figure their stuff out by only looking at them, because we're impacted by the world we were born into. We're impacted by our family system, our heritage, our culture. And when we walk into an organization, we become part of that system. So organizations have a certain kind of environment. They have what I call an undercurrent. And very often change programs don't address the undercurrent. It's kind of like teaching a swimmer a great swimming technique. They'll be brilliant at swimming in the Olympic pool. But once they get to the ocean, they need to know how to read the ebb and flow. They need to understand the waves. They need to pay attention to what weird undercurrents there might be, where there might be stones underneath the surface that they cannot see, or they will crash. And that's what happens in most organizational change programs, we forget to address the undercurrent. So the reason why constellations is so brilliant is, yes, the word makes you think about stars, star constellation. And really, a constellation is a map. And looking at, for example, stars in relation to each other. Well, here we look at people, departments, concepts, products. We look at things in relation to each other. We look at the system, we look at the whole and how it impacts the different parts. Only if you look beyond one thing can you get to root causes. I would love to give you a taste of how this works. And if you want to talk more with me about this, do come over to NOOMINATAN.com, where you can book an informal conversation and we can chat more. I look forward to hearing from you. Bye-bye.